What's really on the dark side of the moon? NASA says there's nothing, but lost recordings, leaked photos, and strange satellite images tell a different story. Join Mystery Vault as we uncover what might be the greatest space secret of all time. We've all seen the moon. Gazing up at its familiar cratered face, it feels like an old friend in the night sky. But what we see is only half of the story. The other side, the one that perpetually turns its back on Earth, remains hidden in an eternal cosmic shadow. NASA officially calls it the far side. But to those who suspect something is being hidden, it's known by another name, the forbidden side. For centuries, it has fueled our imagination and our deepest cosmic fears. So, what's really on the dark side of the moon? And why doesn't NASA want us to know? The answers may be far more disturbing than we ever imagined. To understand the mystery, we first have to ask, why do we never see the moon's other half? The scientific explanation is a phenomenon called tidal locking. The gravitational pull between Earth and the moon has synchronized the moon's rotation so perfectly that it spins on its axis exactly once for every single orbit it makes around our planet. This cosmic dance ensures that the same hemisphere is always facing us, leaving the other side a complete enigma. But it's a mistake to think the far side is pitch black. It receives just as much sunlight as the side we see. We just never get to witness it from our earthly perspective. For all of human history, no one had ever laid eyes on this hidden terrain. That all changed in 1959, when the Cold War's space race took an unexpected turn. The Soviet spacecraft Lunar 3 successfully orbited the moon and transmitted the first ever photographs of the far side back to Earth. What those grainy, black and white images revealed was shocking. The familiar, smooth, dark patches known as Maria, or seas, that dominate the near side were almost entirely absent. Instead, the far side was a brutal, rugged, and heavily cratered landscape, a surface so different it looked like it belonged to another world entirely. This stark contrast was the first clue that the moon held deeper secrets than anyone had anticipated. It was an alien world hiding just behind the familiar face we thought we knew. A decade later, humanity took its giant leap. In 1969, the crew of Apollo 10 and later Apollo 11 became the first humans to orbit the moon. As their command module slipped behind the lunar disk, they entered a period of total radio silence. For a full 48 minutes during each orbit, they were completely cut off from mission control and from the rest of humanity. They were alone, suspended in the void on the far side of the moon. For decades, the official record stated that nothing eventful happened during these periods of silence. But then, years later, classified recordings were allegedly leaked, and they painted a very different picture. These tapes claimed that as the astronauts passed over the forbidden side, they heard strange, unexplainable signals through their headsets. They described them as eerie, otherworldly, and even music-like sounds, a bizarre whistling that echoed through the silence of space where no sound should exist. NASA publicly dismissed the phenomenon, attributing the sounds to simple radio interference between the spacecraft's VHF radios, a plausible, technical explanation. But if it was merely interference, why were the recordings and transcripts of these conversations kept classified for so long? Why the secrecy? Critics argue that the agency was concealing a profound discovery, the first contact with something not of this earth. The sounds from the far side became another layer of the mystery, a whispered secret in the cosmic dark. The intrigue only deepens when you look at the images. High-resolution satellite photos captured by various lunar orbiters have revealed a host of bizarre anomalies on the far side's surface. Among the endless craters and mountains, researchers have identified massive geometric shapes, towering spires that cast impossibly long shadows, and even what appear to be vast, translucent domes. These features seem too ordered, too structural, and too unnatural to be mere geological formations. Of course, NASA has an explanation for everything. They claim these are simply tricks of light and shadow, optical illusions created by the low angle of the sun on the lunar surface, a phenomenon known as pareidolia, where our brains see patterns in random data. Yet, independent and private researchers strongly disagree. They argue that these are not shadows, but the eroded, ancient ruins of intelligent design, structures possibly built by a civilization that existed long before humanity ever gazed at the stars. The questions didn't stop there. More recently, China's Yutu-2 rover, exploring the far side, photographed a mysterious, perfectly cube-shaped object on the horizon. The image went viral, sparking intense speculation. The official explanation from the Chinese Space Agency was simple. It was just a rock. But the blocky, unnatural appearance of the object left many unsatisfied. Why does every new image we get from the far side seem to raise more questions than it answers? It feels as though the more we look, the less we are meant to see. This persistent pattern of strange discoveries, followed by dismissive official explanations, has fueled a powerful and enduring conspiracy theory. This theory posits that NASA and other world governments have not only known about what's on the far side for decades, but they've already explored it, secretly. According to this narrative, the public-facing Apollo missions were just a cover story. The real objective was to investigate what the initial probes had already found. Whistleblowers and former insiders have come forward with sensational claims. They allege that Apollo astronauts discovered non-human structures, beacons that were still active, and even the remnants of advanced mining operations on the far side. According to these accounts, the evidence was immediately classified at the highest level, and the information was buried to prevent global panic and social collapse. Others suggest a different motive, the desire to reverse engineer the discovered technology and keep it for military and corporate advantage. It all sounds like the plot of a science fiction movie. But then again, the idea of walking on the moon was pure science fiction to every generation before 1969. Sometimes, the most unbelievable truths are the ones hidden in plain sight. While speculation runs rampant, new scientific missions continue to push the boundaries of what we know. In a landmark achievement, China's Chang'e 4 probe made history in 2019 as the first spacecraft to ever successfully land on the lunar far side. Its mission was to study the geology of this unexplored region, and it did not disappoint. The lander and its rover discovered something truly unusual. Analysis of the soil composition revealed minerals that have never been seen on the near side of the moon or even on Earth. Even more bizarrely, the Yutu-2 rover stumbled upon a strange, gel-like substance glistening at the bottom of a fresh impact crater. Initial theories ranged from it being glass melted by a meteorite impact to something far more exotic. Could this be a purely natural, albeit rare, geological formation? Or could it be a clue to something more? Each new piece of data from the far side seems to complicate the picture rather than clarify it. The moon, our closest celestial neighbor, is proving to be far stranger and more complex than we ever imagined. The more we learn, the deeper the mystery becomes. For billions of years, the moon has watched over our world, a silent, silver guardian in the night. But all this time, it has kept half of its face a secret, a riddle written in craters and shadows. Whether it hides the ruins of an ancient alien civilization, the remnants of forgotten technology, or simply the undiscovered truth about our own cosmic beginnings, one thing is becoming undeniably certain. The dark side of the moon isn't empty, it's waiting. Subscribe to Mystery Vault, where light never reaches all the truth.